Hello, Chris. How are
Hello.
you?
I am good, thanks.
Hey, thank you so much for your time. And today we are going to talk about team building.
Yes,
Right.
look
Chris,
forward to it.
tell me what are the benefits of organizing team building events in Thailand?
Well, for a start, you've got just so many options. Um, there's such a great variety, not just in Bangkok, which is the most common place that conferences and corporate events happen, but you've got a lot of really, really interesting other cities around. Chiang Mai, Phuket, Chiang Rai, and then all the islands. So you really are spoiled for choice.
Can you describe some of the team building activities that you have done?
Sure. So, well, let's take Bangkok because there's quite a few options there. Just as some examples, it's really nice because, of course, the Thai culture has so many, opportunities to weave into a team building so that they can both have the benefits of the team activity and and also experience the culture at the same time. So we have done team buildings using tuk-tuks, down into Chinatown where they've had some walking, some tuk-tuk, they've had to run into Chinese pharmacies where they had to figure out recipes. They've gone into temples, they've gone, into smaller alleys. We've added the food tasting, a lot of different activities that are possible to do. Then you've got a place like Bangkok Chau, the island. Well, it's not really an island, but it's sort of this oxbow island in the middle of the river, which is a total green lung, and it's beautiful. And you have all these little paths where you can bike around safely. And it's perfect for team building. And, we've done things like coconut bowling on one of the fields. We've done bamboo leaf folding into little crickets. They've been all sorts of different activities out there. So, there's so much that you can do. You've got the klongs where you can, do team building with boats. You can stop at temples, do all sorts of activities like change into Thai costumes or have a lesson with a Thai puppeteer and, learn the moves. And, there's so much variety that you can do just in Bangkok. But then you can do in Chiang Rai or Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai, we've done some really nice activities, where we use the nature a little bit more. You go outside, you've got the zip lining, you have the tree ordination with monks where, you have an activity where you tie holy cloths around really nice trees to save them from deforestation, for example. So so there are a lot of really nice activities that you can do as well in Chiang Mai.
Wow. How have those activities help achieve your client's goal?
Well, of course, there are lots of different goals that a client can have. And the ones that I have been talking about so far mostly have been a case of, team bonding, communication, where people needed to get together because they're geographically separate. Of course, most of these have been, or all of the examples have been pre-pandemic, of course, but even pre-pandemic, there is a need within corporate culture to actually get face-to-face and get outside of the conference room and to, get off the phone and actually communicate with people. And so that has really been the main goal. Then, of course, you've got higher learning objectives that you can insert into these types of team building. But the ones that I spoke about just now have been of the sort of slightly lower, objective in that sense that it's been more about communication and team bonding and getting to know your partners and counterparts within the organization.
Why do you think it is important for companies to keep the teams engaged?
Oh, you work better together, of course. I mean, if you know who you have, you know, sitting on the other side of a phone, or even like, you know, we're here, but you're in a situation where you're actually needing to talk to each other and do something together and figure things out, then you have a much better of that understanding of that person, and you have less misunderstandings in communication. You know, you have a better appreciation maybe of what the other person is doing. So I think in terms of cross-cultural understanding within companies as well, it's really important, because, you know, the majority of the companies that we work with, they span across not just countries but continents, you know, and so getting the chance to go out and talk and, you know, be with your counterparts, colleagues, it's really, really important.
What is it like to work with different vendors and suppliers in Thailand?
That's a really good question. Generally, I think Thai vendors are very easy to work with, quite straightforward. I mean, you need to be very clear, but, you know, that goes for everywhere. You know, but I'm saying that just to make sure that, you know, you don't have a communication gap in case you're, you know, using English as your method of communication, just to make sure that, you know, there is no gap in communication. But vendors per se, very straightforward, easy to work with. Yeah.
Which Thai cities are your favorites to host your events, and why?
Yeah, there again, it really depends on, is it a conference focused event, or if it's an incentive focused event. I mean, Phuket and Chiang Mai are pretty high up there when you have a more incentive focused event, mainly due to, you know, the nature and the culture, either the opportunity to get to the beach or the islands, or to go out into the jungles and, you know, experience the natural beauty and the national parks. But of course, for conference driven events, Bangkok is the favorite.
Have any exciting projects coming up in the near future in Thailand that you can share with us?
Yes, absolutely. So we've got one big conference coming up in Bangkok for 200 people. So that one is going to be a mix of just, well, the day conferences, but also some really nice offsite dinners, as well as one day of sort of a combined tour and team building, sort of after, probably starting from about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, you know, after they've had a morning session of conference, a lunch, and then they go out and do something. So that'll be nice, you know, and they'll have a mix of, I think we're planning on having one really nice Thai dinner, and then one that's going to be a more modern dinner up on one of the rooftop buildings, you know, with a really nice view.
Wow.
That'll be
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Once again, thank you so much, Chris. And we look forward to seeing you in Thailand soon.
Thank you. Yes, we'll be there very soon.
I'll see you then.
See you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you.